Cards in hand, I wrote onto my bathroom door to remind myself again of the following principle. Many parts of life seem to kind of work like a game. A game also because it is a trade often. It seems to me that people, biological machines, paraphrasing basically Richard Dawkins, who said this already in the 90s, I think, or in the 80s. And so, in terms of social dynamics, so the utility, the overall utility of one's network can be calculated by taking the ascribed value of an entity and by weighting it with the connection strength. So now, if I don't have cards in my hands, of course, metaphors for things I still can do that benefit others, and by benefiting others, also me. There is, I think, this illusion of altruism, that there is basically a program in us that wants us to do things for others just for the sake of helping others. It seems to me, at least as of my current knowledge, that this is kind of an illusion. We only think that we do things for others because, well, doing for others benefits us ourselves. Because think of it, if there would be, let's say, a program that took up, let's say, 5% of the processing power of one human on average over his lifetime, and then somebody else had 4%, and somebody else had 6%, and somebody else had 17%. Wouldn't over time the humans, or the genes rather, in the humans with the best adaptation to the environment eventually have the biggest genetic spread over the population pool of the humans? The answer, possibly yes. So the current level of altruism that is maybe on average present in a human has only survived because it's adaptive. So just like I sometimes think, especially presumably on higher levels of testosterone, that I can do things better like everybody else. Which of course to a certain extent is an illusion. Because even if I take the outside view of, okay, objectively speaking, how many things have I done that, let's say socially, are like milestones? And the answer is usually barely any. But I need this view from the inside, because otherwise it would be all hopeless. And maybe the same thing, to a certain extent at least, applies to altruism. We need to believe that we help others in order to actually properly help others. We need to believe that helping others is something that is inherently good. Maybe also because our brain needs to then properly simulate the other people's brains, at least to a certain degree, to actually enable us to help others because we then know what they want. So to remind myself of all these interconnecting thoughts, I wrote the following onto my bathroom door.